Namaskar. Hello and welcome to Sansad TV. I am Namrata Singh and you are watching Question Hour. The show focuses on questions raised by members in both houses of parliament concerning matters of national interest. In the Rajya Sabha today, members from various parties posed questions related to 10 ministries and sought responses from the respective ministers. Similarly, in the Lok Sabha, members from diverse parties raised questions pertaining to 8 ministries and sought responses from the respective ministers. Now, let's take a look at some of the questions whose replies were presented today. Lok Sabha MP Dr. T. Sumati asked the Minister of Law and Justice whether government has taken or proposes to take appropriate measures to translate proceedings and judgments of Supreme Court and High Courts across the country through artificial intelligence and publish them. The ministry in its reply informed the House that the Supreme Court of India has adopted the use of artificial intelligence language technology in translation of judicial documents. AI has also deployed for transcribing oral arguments, particularly in constitution bench matters, since February 2023. A committee headed by Judge of the Supreme Court of India has been constituted to monitor the translation of important Supreme Court and High Court judgments into vernacular languages. The committee is having regular meetings with the subcommittees of High Courts comprising judges to expedite the process of translation. The AI translation committees of the High Courts are monitoring the entire work relating to translation of the Supreme Court and High Court judgments into vernacular languages. As on date, 17 High Courts on the website have already started placing e-High Court reports, e-Indian Law reports, e-HCR/e-ILR are digital legal platforms that provide online access to judgments in the vernacular languages. The AI committees of the High Courts have been informed to request the respective state governments to translate all the central and state legislation, rules, regulations, etc. into regional language and put it on the state website so as to help the common man to read it in the regional language. It has also been impressed upon all the state governments to extend full support to the respective High Courts in regard to translation of judgments, since it is part of access to justice as envisaged under the Constitution of India. As on date, 36,324 Supreme Court judgments have been translated in Hindi language and 42,765 judgments of Supreme Court have been translated in other 17 regional languages, and the same are available on the e-SCR portal. A remuneration of 100 rupees per page as per the original English Supreme Court judgment is however being made to the retired judicial officers or translators or advocates for vetting of AI translated Supreme Court judgments by the Supreme Court of India. Rajya Sabha member Dr. Parmar Jaswant Singh Salam Singh asked the Minister of Rural Development steps taken by government in collaboration with private companies for socio-economic inclusion of women entrepreneurs and details of sustainable transport for rural entrepreneurs through electric bicycles in empowering rural women by providing them access to green mobility.
Sir, there are two ways that we empower rural women. One, as being part of the SHE group, each member can get anywhere from 25 to 30,000 rupees, and it is usually comprised of 10 people. On an average, as a group, they can get 2.5 lakhs worth of money, and this is given at an interest subversion of around 4%. So in essence, they get this interest rate for 7%. That's number one. And if some of these people are quite successful, and if they want to get an additional money independent of the SHG group, they can also get a loan up to 5 lakhs. Out of that, first 1.5 lakh, they can get at 1.5% interest subversion. And for this entire money, the government will pay to the banks for credit guarantee so that the banks can lend this money to the SHG members, because these are usually coming from the bottom of the income strata and they do not have any security assets for the banks. So these are the two ways, sir. Overall, over the last 10 years, the government has given more than 9 lakh crores worth of loans compared to before 2024. It was only 22,900 crores, sir. So this is almost 50 times more over the last 10 years. The NRLM division has made a collaboration with Easy Trip Planners, sir. This was done recently as a pilot project, sir. And this is basically a skill building for ticket booking platform for both rail, air, and bus. So obviously, since this is at the pilot stage, more details have to be done, sir. And in general, SHG group empowerment is a continuous process, sir. This is not something that happens in one day. It depends on which areas these programs need to be implemented or needed. And then we have almost 6 lakh community resource persons that are distributed across the country that will handhold them, nurture them, identify the problems. And in this process, out of these 6 lakh community resource persons, otherwise trainers, will be subdivided based on the necessary skill. If this is related to the booking of the flight tickets or these tickets, those people will be trained, sir. Certain subsection of these people will be trained, and then they will continue to nurture them in the long run, sir.
Lok Sabha members Poonam Bain, Hemant Bhai Madam and Captain Brijesh Chota asked the Minister of Chemicals and Fertilizers whether the government has launched a 500 crore rupees scheme for strengthening the medical devices industry, and if so, the key components and objectives of the scheme, and the expected impact of the scheme on India's self-reliance in medical technology. The ministry, in its reply, informed the House, in order to provide support in critical areas of the medical device industry, covering manufacturing of key components and accessories, skill development, support for clinical studies, development of common infrastructure and industry promotion, a new scheme, strengthening of medical device industry, with 5 sub-schemes has been launched on 8th November 2024 with financial outlay of 500 crore rupees. The objective of the sub-schemes under the scheme are as follows. Common facilitation for medical device clusters, to strengthen existing infrastructure by providing financial assistance to medical device clusters for creating common infrastructure facilities, boosting domestic manufacturing capacity and improving cluster quality, and to strengthen availability of more medical device testing laboratories in order to boost manufacturing of quality medical devices. Marginal investment scheme for reducing import dependence, to promote domestic production of key components, raw materials and accessories used in manufacturing of medical devices, including in vitro diagnostic devices, in order to reduce dependence of Indian medical device manufacturers on imported key components and raw materials, and increase the depth of our value chains. Capacity building and skill development in medical device sector. The main objective of the component is to fill the gap existing in the education and research in medical devices sector and to ensure quality teaching, training and nurturing excellence in medical technology education for generating critical mass of trained human resource to meet the requirements of rapidly innovating multidisciplinary areas of medical technology and create R&D ecosystem for the sector. Medical device clinical studies support scheme, to support the medical device industry by fostering development of devices supported by clinical evidence and generation of clinical data that demonstrates the safety and efficiency of the devices manufactured in India. This will promote manufacturing of quality products with better efficiency and safety. It will also enhance credibility of domestic manufacturers to produce high-quality products, opening up opportunities for them in markets outside the country. Medical Device Promotion Scheme. To promote medical device industry by bringing industry leaders, academia and policymakers together to share their knowledge and experience for overall development of this sector, as well as to facilitate growth and development of this sector through conducting studies, organizing awareness programs, creation of databases and promotion of industry. The ministry further informed the overall goal of this scheme is to make India a global hub for medical device manufacturing and innovation. By addressing the key challenges faced by the industry, the scheme is expected to boost domestic manufacturing, create jobs and improve access to affordable and high-quality medical devices for Indian patients. By promoting collaboration between industry players, research institutions and government bodies, the scheme can strengthen the domestic sector, reduce dependency on imports and position the country as a leader in the global medical device market. Rajya Sabha member Dr. M. Thambidurai asked the Minister of Agriculture and Farmers' Welfare whether it is a fact that chemical fertilizers harm the agricultural lands, and if so, the details thereof, including the awareness created among the farming community.
और तुम्हारे वैज्ञानिकों ने एक हरित क्रांति लाकर इस देश को खाद्यान्न में आत्मनिर्भर बनाया। परंतु सभापति महोदय, मेरा वही निवेदन है कि अति शर्त वर्जित है, और जब अंधाधुंध यदि किसी, चाहे रासायनिक खाद हो, पेस्टिसाइड हो, चाहे कोई भी हो, जो प्रयोग करेंगे तो आपको पता धरती भी बीमार होगी, और जब धरती बीमार हो जाएगी तो मनुष्य नहीं, पशु पक्षी नहीं, प्राणी मात्र भी उससे प्रभावित होगा। और वो स्थिति ये है। और आपको पता है सभापति महोदय, 1984 में जैविक खेती शुरुआत करने के लिए एक अभियान चला था, परंतु दुर्भाग्य था, बहुत बड़े बड़े नारे दे रहे हैं, देश का अन्नदाता बड़ा महान है। मैं हमेशा कहता हूं सभापति महोदय, आपसे तो कोई छुपी हुई चीज नहीं है, इस देश का अन्नदाता महान है, नहीं तो उसकी आयु सीमा है काम करने की, और नहीं कोई समय सीमा है। तो इसलिए, परंतु बड़ी खुशी की बात है कि हमारी सरकार ने 2014 में एक नहीं, दो नहीं, तीन योजनाएं इस धरती को बचाने के लिए क्या आई। जो रासायनिक खाद से अभी माननीय सदस्य ने चिंता प्रकट की है, उसको ठीक कैसे हो, ये धरती माता, और उसके लिए उन्होंने 70,000 कृषि सखी को KYC के माध्यम से, और तो और है, उर्वरकों के लिए 7 लाख ट्रेनिंग प्रदर्शन किए गए हैं देश भर में। इतना ही नहीं, 93,781 किसानों को इस कार्यक्रम में सम्मिलित किया गया, और 7,425 किसान मेले लगाए गए। सभापति महोदय, राष्ट्रीय प्राकृतिक कृषि मिशन प्रारंभ हुआ है, और इसे जैविक कृषि के ऊपर भी और प्राकृतिक खेती के ऊपर भी इस पर विशेष तौर से ध्यान दिया गया है। सभापति महोदय, मैं ये कहते हुए खुशी होती है कि हमारे प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र भाई मोदी जी और हमारे भारत सरकार के कृषि मंत्री शिवराज सिंह जी चौहान साहब के नेतृत्व में कृषि के क्षेत्र में जितने भी नवाचार हो सके करने के लिए कार्य करेंगे, क्योंकि इस देश के अन्नदाता के लिए और इस धरती माता को भी बचाना है, इसके लिए पूरे प्रयास किए जा रहे हैं।
Lok Sabha member Dhairashil Sambhaji Rao Mane asked the Minister of Ports, Shipping and Waterways whether the government proposes to provide additional incentives to encourage domestic shipyards to develop fuel-efficient and technologically advanced vessels as part of its ambitious plans to transform the country's shipping industry. The ministry, in its reply, informed the House that the government has provided additional incentives to encourage domestic shipyards to develop fuel-efficient and technologically advanced vessels as part of its ambitious plans to transform the country's shipping industry. Shipbuilding Financial Assistance Policy was amended in August 2023 to include flat 30% financial assistance for vessels where main propulsion is achieved by means of green fuels such as methanol, ammonia, hydrogen fuel cells, etc. This amendment also included flat 20% financial assistance for vessels fitted with fully electric or hybrid propulsion. As per the Maritime Amrit Kal Vision, India aspires to be in the top 5 countries in commercial shipbuilding by 2047. Further, to promote Make in India policy and to support shipbuilding industry in India, Ministry has brought in Shipbuilding Financial Assistance Policy Scheme for Indian shipyards to procure orders from domestic as well as international market and to be competitive in international market for securing global orders. The scheme offers financial assistance to Indian shipyards for shipbuilding contracts signed between April 1, 2016 and March 31, 2026, with rate of financial assistance starting from 20% in 2016 and diminishing to 11% in 2026. Till date, 45 shipyards have registered and 19 shipyards have utilized the scheme by availing financial assistance. Further, an amount of 385 crore rupees have been released towards construction and delivery of 144 vessels. Rajya Sabha member Anil Kumar Yadav Mandadi asked the Minister of Commerce and Industry status of Hyderabad-Bengaluru Industrial Corridor as on date.
20 में तो कॉरिडोर अनाउंस हुआ था, जो नोड है इंडस्ट्रियल नोड वो अभी 28 अगस्त को अनाउंस हुआ है, इसी साल 2 महीने पहले। अब आंध्र प्रदेश सरकार और हमारा जो जॉइंट वेंचर है वो इसमें ईपीसी कॉन्ट्रैक्टर का टेंडरिंग करेगा। हम हर एक चीज़ पारदर्शिता से करते हैं, कोई आधा अधूरा किसी को कोयले की खदानों की तरह कुछ बांट दिया, ईपीसी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बांट दिया, वो हमारा काम नहीं है, स्टाइल नहीं है। तो पारदर्शिता से ईपीसी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट आंध्र प्रदेश की सरकार चुनेगी, टेंडरिंग होगा, उसके बाद उस पर काम होगा।
Well, that is all I have for you in this edition of Question Hour. Stay tuned and thank you for watching Sansad TV.